The stench in the air was overwhelming, reminiscent of the unmistakable odor of urine. It was an unbearable situation, prompting an unexpected confrontation. Huh? Who are you talking about? I inquired, confused by the sudden tension. What? My mother-in-law responded, wearing a dumbfounded expression. Seeing an opportunity, I decided to address the issue and engage in a verbal sparring match with my mother-in-law. My name is Kimberly Johnson, married to Mike, and together we live with our daughter Emily, forming a family of 3. Currently, I am a full-time housewife, but in my premarital days, I worked as an office worker at a medium-sized company. Fate led me to meet Mike at that workplace, and our friendship quickly blossomed into something more. Eventually, we got married, and Emily came into our lives unexpectedly. Retiring from my job, I embraced the role of a full-time housewife and dedicated mother to Emily. Despite the challenges of raising a baby, Mike's supportive and proactive approach in sharing childcare responsibilities made it easier for me. Now, Emily is a 12-year-old in the 6th grade, rapidly growing into a kind-hearted and helpful girl. Our family seemed to be thriving, but one day, Mike dropped a bombshell. He announced that his mother would be moving in with us due to her recent confrontations with neighbors and a supermarket clerk. My face paled at the news, as I had never been fond of Mike's mother, and the idea of living with her was surprising and unsettling. Mike explained that she seemed to be acting out due to loneliness, and it was decided that she would live with us to avoid causing further trouble for the neighbors. As time passed, our life with Mike's mother unfolded, and, as anticipated, she developed a genuine fondness for Emily. Her interactions with our daughter seemed to bring her genuine happiness, and I sensed that her loneliness might be subsiding. Remarkably, she ceased causing trouble, refraining from confrontations with neighbors. It appeared that Mike's prediction about her aggressive behavior being rooted in loneliness was accurate. The new chapter in our lives seemed to have filled the void in her heart, fostering a positive change in her demeanor. However, despite her newfound satisfaction, her attitude toward me remained consistently harsh. My mother-in-law, with her myriad of unpleasant traits, opted for indirect expressions, often choosing to criticize my housekeeping skills. While I had anticipated this, her lack of mercy surprised me. One day, she fixated a harsh glare on me, asserting that the rice I had prepared was too firm. Taken aback, I responded really, yes. In response, she coldly retorted, "You should try it yourself." Obliging, I tasted the rice, finding it to be just as consistent in texture as my usual preparations. "No, it's not," she insisted, perpetuating the ongoing challenge of navigating her critical disposition. Despite my attempts to defend the rice's texture, she persisted, loudly expressing her displeasure and deeming me unfit as a mother. It felt like a relentless attack, and she showed no signs of backing down. Feeling somewhat defeated, I decided to compromise and attempted to make the rice softer by adding water to the rice cooker and cooking it again. To my dismay, only my mother-in-law seemed to prefer the altered texture. Mike and Emily, with subtle expressions, made it clear they were not fans of the softer rice. In this ongoing saga, I found myself in a managerial role, caught between the demands of my mother-in-law and the preferences of my own family. Unfortunately, the critique extended beyond rice. She began to scrutinize my cleaning methods, particularly my reliance on a vacuum cleaner. In my view, modern vacuum cleaners were efficient in removing dirt and dust, making them suitable for floor cleaning. However, my mother-in-law found this approach unacceptable. She lectured me on her traditional method of using a mop before vacuuming. She asserted, "When I was young, I used to wipe the floor with a mop before using the vacuum cleaner. But you only use the vacuum cleaner without even wiping the floor. You're not really cleaning the floor at all. From today, change the way you clean the floor." Her words were firm and harsh, leaving me overwhelmed by her assertiveness. I had no choice but to comply, even though this particular task seemed burdensome given my accustomed methods of managing housework. Reluctantly, I started cleaning the floor as per my mother-in-law's instructions, using a mop instead of my usual vacuum cleaner. I sighed audibly as I worked, feeling the weight of the situation. On that particular Saturday with Emily at home, she noticed the unusual sight of me using a mop and inquired about the change. I explained part of the situation to her, and in her kind-hearted manner, Emily offered to assist with the floor cleaning. Thanks to Emily's help, we managed to finish the task earlier than planned. Surprisingly, my mother-in-law made no effort to contribute and remained seated on the living room sofa, engrossed in television. I couldn't help but sigh again as I observed her in action. Envy crept in as I thought about how she had it so easy, sitting comfortably while we worked. Frustration simmered within me, fueled by her complaints about my cleaning methods without offering any constructive guidance. Despite our diligent efforts, my mother-in-law seemed indifferent, allowing Emily and me to toil without lifting a finger. Her apparent coldness and brazen attitude began to irritate me. However, Emily, displaying her kindness, approached her grandmother and initiated a gentle conversation. "Grandma, what are you watching?" Impressed by my daughter's actions, I felt compelled to engage with my mother-in-law. "I was wondering too, what are you watching?" I asked, trying to bridge the gap in our strained interaction. A shocking moment unfolded when my mother-in-law abruptly declared, "You both stink. Don't talk to me ever again," the echoes of her shout reverberating in the living room. Confused by her outrageous comment, I sought clarification. "Do we smell? What kind of smell is it?" I questioned, trying to comprehend her statement. "It smells like piss coming from both of you. It's unbearable," she retorted, leaving me taken aback by her rude and unexpected remark. I seized what seemed like an opportunity to turn the tables and fight back. "Whose smell?" I asked, with a mischievous tone. Emily chimed in, "Yeah, Grandma, whose smell?" My mother-in-law wore a stunned expression as I boldly suggested, "The smell of urine is actually coming from you. If you can smell it, maybe it's time to change your diaper. Let's change your diaper, Grandma." To our suggestion, she appeared stunned once again. It was revealed that a few days earlier, she had an accident, wetting the floor near the toilet. Initially, Emily and I thought it might be a one-time incident, but as it occurred repeatedly, we realized it was a serious issue. Reluctantly, we convinced her to start wearing diapers. Perhaps, due to the effectiveness of the diapers, she had forgotten she was wearing them. The absorbent nature of the diaper may have prevented her from realizing when an accident occurred. Reflecting on her earlier harsh comment, everything began to make sense. However, my mother-in-law seemed oblivious to our explanation and wore a puzzled expression. Instead of understanding, she grew irritated and responded harshly, denying the validity of our remarks. "You're saying I wet myself. What are you all talking about? Are you speaking ill of me and being mean?" she accused, surprising us with a complete denial and a shift into the role of the victim. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off about my mother-in-law's denials. The first time she wet herself, she was visibly embarrassed and upset, crying out of shame. It frustrated me that she now seemed to have completely forgotten the emotional impact of those moments. Despite Emily and me repeatedly presenting the truth and logical arguments, my mother-in-law staunchly refused to listen, portraying us as villains in her narrative. Frustration reached its peak, and I found myself unable to contain my emotions any longer. "Mother-in-law, what on earth are you talking about? You are the only one here who smells like urine, so please don't blame us. And if you've forgotten about wetting yourself and wearing a diaper, check for yourself. Go to the bathroom right now," I exclaimed, my forcefulness surprising her. Reluctantly, she went to the bathroom, muttering about how annoying I was. Meanwhile, Emily remarked, "Grandma is acting kind of strange, isn't she?" Even kind-hearted Emily sensed that something was amiss with my mother-in-law's behavior. As I pondered Emily's observation, a scream echoed from the bathroom. It turned out that my mother-in-law had realized the truth while in there. She was wearing a diaper and had indeed wet herself. Shocked and confused, she called for me urgently, hastening to the bathroom. I handed her a spare diaper to avert a potential crisis. It became evident that the panic of the situation had overwhelmed her. Reconsidering the situation, I felt that the incident served as a good wake-up call, and a sense of relief washed over me. It appeared that my mother-in-law had successfully changed her diaper in the bathroom, and everything seemed to be in order. As she emerged from the bathroom looking dejected, I tried to bring some positivity into the situation. Mother-in-law, that's great, isn't it? You were able to change your diaper and must feel refreshed. However, instead of gratitude, my mother-in-law glared at me with a terrifying expression. What do you mean great? What do you mean refreshed? Do you think it's good that I have to wear diapers? You are such a cold person. There is no way you could understand my feelings. I admitted, indeed, I can't understand your feelings at all. As you can see, I am not old and frail, and I am healthy. So, it's only natural that I can't understand your current feelings, right? Are you picking a fight with me, the mother of your husband, Mike? I can't believe it. Why did Mike marry someone with such a bad personality? This wicked woman? You are just as wicked, and the world calls people like you wicked. Flabbergasted by her accusations, I retorted, What are you talking about? What part of me is wicked? You are really rude. It became clear that my mother-in-law genuinely did not see herself as a wicked person, and there was no indication that she would change her misguided opinion or attitude. Frustrated, I had no choice but to yell at her once again. Do you understand? When people say rude, they are referring to people like you. You are causing trouble for our family, but I guess you probably don't realize that, do you? Indignant, my mother-in-law responded, What are you talking about? When have I ever caused trouble for your family? Don't say ridiculous things. In the midst of our heated exchange, Emily unexpectedly intervened, putting an end to the battle. Grandma, before you came, the rice at our house was never too hard. As I reconsidered the situation, I saw the incident as a wake-up call, and a sense of relief washed over me. It appeared that my mother-in-law had successfully changed her diaper in the bathroom, and everything seemed to be in order. However, as she emerged from the bathroom looking dejected, I tried to bring some positivity into the situation. Mother-in-law, that's great, isn't it? You were able to change your diaper and must feel refreshed. Unexpectedly, my mother-in-law glared at me with a terrifying expression. What do you mean great? What do you mean refreshed? Do you think it's good that I have to wear diapers? You are such a cold person. There is no way you could understand my feelings. Admitting, indeed, I can't understand your feelings at all. As you can see, I am not old and frail, and I am healthy. So, it's only natural that I can't understand your current feelings, right? Are you picking a fight with me, the mother of your husband, Mike? I can't believe it. Why did Mike marry someone with such a bad personality, this wicked woman? You are just as wicked, and the world calls people like you wicked. Flabbergasted by her accusations, I retorted, What are you talking about? What part of me is wicked? You are really rude. It became clear that my mother-in-law genuinely did not see herself as a wicked person, and there was no indication that she would change her misguided opinion or attitude. Frustrated, I had no choice but to yell at her once again. Do you understand? When people say rude, they are referring to people like you. You are causing trouble for our family, but I guess you probably don't realize that, do you? Indignant, my mother-in-law responded, What are you talking about? When have I ever caused trouble for your family? Don't say ridiculous things. In the midst of our heated exchange, Emily unexpectedly intervened, putting an end to the battle. Grandma, before you came, the rice at our house was never too hard. Emily continued, Since you came, the rice has been like porridge, and honestly, neither I nor my mom nor dad likes it very much. Surprised by such an opinion from her beloved granddaughter, my mother-in-law seemed quite shocked. I threw the final words at her, stating, Just like the diaper incident, You seem to have forgotten, so I'll say it. It's not that the rice I cooked is hard, it's because your teeth are dentures. Shocked by the revelation, my mother-in-law denied it vehemently, claiming it was a lie, and that she didn't have dentures. To settle the matter, I urged her to check her teeth in the bathroom mirror, leading her to realize the truth. Apologetic, she admitted to having dentures and apologized for her earlier behavior. Feeling refreshed, I handed her denture adhesive, and she re-adhered her dentures. When she returned to the living room, she apologized to Emily, who forgave her kindly. Touched by Emily's actions, I couldn't help but appreciate her hospitality. Despite the momentary resolution, my mother-in-law suddenly accused me of not cleaning the hallway properly, leading to the lingering smell of urine. Frustrated by her emotional ups and downs, I defended my cleaning habits, even offering to have her smell the floor. Eventually, she backed down and apologized again. Feeling that my mother-in-law's behavior was increasingly strange, I decided to consult with Mike. To our surprise, Mike also found her recent behavior puzzling, prompting us to take her to the hospital under the guise of a health checkup. After undergoing tests, the doctor diagnosed her with Alzheimer's disease, explaining that it's a form of dementia that progresses gradually. Witnessing her symptoms worsening, we eventually had to admit her to a nursing home. While the house felt empty without her, Mike, Emily, and I were able to spend happy days together. As life moved forward, Mike received a promotion at work, Emily won a writing contest, and I found a part-time job at a bakery. The atmosphere at home became filled with laughter and joy, marking a happy and fulfilling time for our family.